Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com with a weekly live Q&A. So we are live right now. So if you can hear me, make sure you do put it in the live chat if you are. I remember, always like to know if you can hear me. So this is our weekly Q&A. So how this works is we have a live chat going on right now with our YouTube channel members. So you can use that to communicate with me and put in questions. You can also use the super chat function as well. And basically, Patreon and YouTube channel members, what that happens is that helps pay all the bills towards like hosting the podcast, hosting software like this, and basically just kind of helping keeping all the lights on. So your support really does make a lot of difference. And we do this live Q&A every single week. Last week I did do a pre-recorded one. That was actually how we used to do it before we went live. I'll only tend to do that generally if I can't do it live. So yeah, we're back live. So if you've got any questions, jump in. We've got quite a few on. Also, Patreon and YouTube channel members can submit their questions in advance if they wish to. There's one thing I do want to just bring everyone's attention to first off, and my VCR still works, so they can hear me, which is always cool, is if you go on to What's on Disney Plus right now, you'll notice here it says, vote for our best of 2021 awards. If you go on here, you'll go into a survey where you can actually help vote for this year's awards. So this is, I'm covering all of the Disney Plus originals plus some Star ones. You get to pick a whole host of different things here to choose from. If you could do that, that would be great. Let us know what you want to, what you've been watching. You know, the more people that vote, the better. You can also vote as many times as you want, and voting will be running right up till Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. As I just remembered, Americans don't do Boxing Day. So thank you very much for joining me today. So let's jump into some of the questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Matt because his was a super chat. So again, a big thank you for your support. That really means a lot. So he says, when Ernest Saves Christmas, or with Ernest Saves Christmas, what do you think other Ernest movies coming to Disney Plus? And also, do you see any other vintage content on Disney Plus? So I was having a quick look here. They have got, obviously Disney did make a few more Ernest movies. Scared Stupid was one of theirs. Ernest Goes to Jail was one of theirs. But not every Ernest movie was actually made by Disney. Like Slam Dunk Ernest wasn't made by them. Neither was Ernest Goes to Africa. So there's a few that they didn't make, but the few ones that do. The fact that they put the Christmas one on there, I'd imagine that we're probably going to start getting the other ones. It does feel like with the movie ones that we are going to sort of see the movie. Yeah, we should hopefully see them at some point. And are we going to see some more vintage content on Disney Plus? I would say we definitely will do. Whether or not it's at the speed that we like seems to be a problem. They don't seem to be putting on as many. But it just makes sense for them to kind of utilize what they've got in the back catalogue and just get some stuff on there. But I would love to see some more vintage content on there. I'd especially like them to start raiding the 20th Century Studios library, some of the classic stuff. Same with Disney. You know, go back into the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, put a little disclaimer on the front about it and just pop it up there and, you know, just build out that classic library and have something, you know, it's not going to be for everyone, but not everyone's going to want to watch it, but just, you know, it just makes a lot of sense just to use that back catalogue, especially with 20th Century. That just seems to be something that I would love them to do. All right, let's get into some of the questions. So we have got a few ones in the advance. So let's see here. So we bring up the banners. Here we go. So we're going to start off with the first one. And we've actually got quite a few questions about this week. So I'm going to try and kind of incorporate them all into one. So Kayla said, do you feel that Disney Plus and Hulu should start sharing content? Simpsons is shared between them since Hulu has next day rights while Disney has the archive. I feel they should do the same for Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, and King of the Hill. They're all rated TV-14s, which was as they met the maximum criteria. So this all came from a question on a survey that recently got released by Variety, where a lot of people were asking to share content. And this has kind of come up, and there's a lot of things going on with it. Kayla's actually just popped in here now with another one. So I see that my question set the table. So that's the first one. So obviously Hulu and Disney Plus can't share content since they don't technically own all of it. But the stuff of ABC, FX, and National Geographic could be shared. And I 100% agree with this. And I think this might be how Disney could get around some of the way of building up Disney Plus with a little bit of more mature content. They could start drip feeding in a few things in here and there. We've already seen the Runaways shared, but that might be different because that was a Marvel show. But who knows? I mean, I think they're definitely going to sort out what they're doing with Comcast with their share. But there definitely seems to be an appetite now building, and sort of the way that Wall Street and analysts are really starting to dig in now on the idea that Disney Plus in the United States needs to have a little bit more content. Disney is already doing it internationally, and so therefore, I mean, for me personally, we have Disney Plus with lots of content. Here's my Disney Plus here in the United Kingdom. We've got the mature content like Last Duel, things like that in here. So they've already done it. So when they've done it already, it does make it a little bit harder for them to say no, because then you're like, well, you guys are doing it anyway, so you could do it everywhere. So I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of a push, and hopefully with the Hulu stuff, they can start shifting some over. Elliot also said, I think that Disney Plus has a wide variety of content to keep everyone entertained. I know there is Star in other countries, but I feel that Disney Plus should somehow combine their content so it's available for everyone instead of going to different apps to find the content. I'm in the US. What do you think? 100% agree on this one again. Like I said, it's one of those things with, I think people are starting to go, well, why have we got two? And the internet's a small place. The internet is a small place. So, we're seeing stuff. I see it a lot more in the comments. People are starting to get a little bit, I wouldn't necessarily say a bit more confused, but I think more Americans are seeing posts from outside of America a lot more and kind of going, well, hold on a minute, why are they getting that and we're not? And I think, and the things like with the Beatles and stuff this past week for Thanksgiving, was pushing the boundaries a little bit, and there's a lot of pressure on Disney right now to sort stuff out. But yeah, I definitely could see them sort of starting to share maybe some of those stuff in the future. But yeah, as of right now, probably not in the short term. Okay, so we've got another question here from Connor. Do you think that Disney should try to reduce the transition windows of shows like Grey's Anatomy, 911, Station 19, and Bob's Burger to Disney Plus? Everybody here. So this is in reference to the United Kingdom. So here in the United Kingdom, we aren't getting, there's a little bit of discrepancy between, for example, like in Australia, they're actually getting episodes of Grey's Anatomy and Station 19 every single week. And out in Canada, they're getting episodes, and in Australia now, they're getting new episodes of The Simpsons. We're getting things like Family Guy now. And a lot of this is down to individual contracts kind of coming to the end. They're coming to the end. And so therefore, that's how it works. I don't want to be playing that one. So there we go. But we're definitely going to be seeing, I think, a lot of stuff going on with these contracts coming to an end, and eventually then things will start moving over. But I think we are going to see more of this in the future, but it's always a little bit of a tricky one to go there. Let's jump into some of the live ones. So here we've got My VCR Still Works. Since Disney content is starting to leave Netflix by 2022, do you see Disney putting Bill Nye the Science? Right. Okay, so there's two different things here. So first off, Bill Nye the Science Guy, I do believe there is some there's some lawsuits going through regarding payment for stuff. So there's something totally different going on with Bill the Nye Guy. So that's a separate issue. Until that's sorted legally, they can't do it. He wants more money from Disney. So there is a lot of content leaving Netflix internationally at the end of this month, really. Going to be loads of series. How I Met Your Father. Not How You Met Your Father. Sorry, How I Met Your Mother. We're also going to be getting loads of other bits and pieces like that. And most of them are on Disney Plus internationally already. But I think this is just more stuff being pulled as the contracts run out. So we're seeing more and more of it being pulled away for Disney Plus. So that's why we are seeing it. But Bill Nye won't be doing it. Steven said Sky 19 is on Sky Witness. Yes, so I'm currently watching that. I'm recording Sky Station 19. Season 5. I'm currently watching that one at the moment. Yeah. Again, we're in that contract. Once that contract with Sky runs out, they'll be heading over to Disney Plus, like we see elsewhere. Caleb said, as you probably know, Hotstar has officially ended in the United States. I'm glad Hulu has the Hotstar logo on the original content in the thumbnails, similar to. I think that's a great idea. I think they needed to do that. I think they need to have an essential brand. I think they needed that to be on there, because what the problem is to me was then you want to be able to go in there, and anyone who's looking for Hotstar content then can find it, and then anyone that doesn't want to see Hotstar can then kind of go, oh, I know what that is. And I think Hotstar's a good branding because it's already established what it is. I'm just trying to see if they've added anything onto the Hulu website, because this is I keep trying to get in here to see what's going on. They haven't done it yet, but yeah, so more Hotstar content definitely is. I think just having that branding is a good idea, and keeping Hotstar as its own separate thing. And I think just in general, just to have Disney have all of that content within that brand, it makes a lot, especially when they start putting it in on Disney Plus everywhere. I think Hotstar would still be a good way of doing that one there. Right, let's jump into some of the previous questions that have been put in advanced. My VCR still works says, do you think that Disney will acquire Dark Horse Comics? So that is apparently the rumors running around that comic company is up for grabs and they're thinking of selling it. Disney are obviously floating around in the idea that they could do it. They already obviously own Marvel, and they've already got a bit of an ownership over Boom Studios when they purchased 20th Century Studios. And they are working with Dark Horse. They've recently just announced they're working with them on some new on some new Star Wars content. So definitely think that we could see. They might try and go for it, but then they might be like, yeah, we can't afford that right now. But if they don't buy it, Amazon or Netflix or someone's going to pick them up, sure, because they're just going to want those IPs. And there's got to be something there. That's good. Frank said, since Starz is closing, could Disney just share movies between Starz when they get sold? Or no, it doesn't really. So at the minute, Starz is currently being looked to be sold off by Lionsgate. They announced this last month. Which is Starz is a completely different streaming service, and it's kind of lost its niche really because it hasn't really got a huge amount of content of its own, and therefore it's just not being able to compete with everyone pulling all their content. So it's up for sale. If they sell it, we don't know how the contract works. I mean, the contract could of what they've got of their like the licensing stuff from 20th Century could go with them. We don't yet know how the contract's going to be going. So it's not necessarily a case of it just closing. If they close it down, then I would imagine Lionsgate could sell the contract onto somebody else, or probably Disney's probably got first rights on it. But I imagine it's not quite as simple as we would hope it would be. Okay, so let's do a live one here. So we're going to do Frank's last question because then we've done all of the pre-done ones. So these are all get sent in advance. So we've got something. So Frank says, since Christmas Light Fight is coming to Disney Plus US, could they put Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or past episodes of ABC News on Disney Plus? I don't know. It depends on how a lot of the ABC stuff seems to be sliding. Generally has to go over to Hulu because of the deals that they've got there. I think we are going to see more and more of this. I know internationally we're starting to slowly get some of those ABC News specials, but not all of them, not by any means. The Christmas Light Fight to me was a little bit of a strange one because it didn't have the Disney branding, but maybe this is that whole thing of them starting to look at some of the ABC stuff. They obviously can share stuff if they want to, they just choose not to, so that they can seem to do it when they want it. So hopefully they will start seeing some more ones, but I don't know about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or anything like that. I mean, it depends on them. That might not be the market they're going for. Right, let's see what else we've got here. So Bubba Trolling said, could Disney make Hulu like Hotstar in 2024? They could do. I honestly think that at some point they're going to merge them all together once they get full control, because I think it's just will work better. So yeah, Hulu could be like Hotstar because Hotstar's obviously got everything all interconnected. Stephen Bruce said, West Side Story can't wait coming to Disney Plus too long to cinema. Sorry. So West Side Story is coming to cinemas. I think it's this coming Friday. So it could end up onto Disney Plus probably. I think it is end of January, beginning of February. That would be when it'll be likely to land. I also think that West Side Story is one of the ones that HBO Max has got to deal with to share that one. I think that one would make a lot of sense. I think that will be very popular. Steven said, NCIS New Orleans, Sky One pick up at end of month and Bull. I think because Disney have said that NCIS is going to be coming to Disney Plus, but I don't think there's going to be all the spin-offs that they've got. Kayla said, speaking of ABC content, I'm glad Agent Carter is available on Disney Plus at launch since there's a bit of a drought with Marvel content. Yeah, I think it was good to be there. I know for me, I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and catching up with that, and then they started releasing them. And I hadn't seen Runaways as well. That was good before we got it. My VCR still works. Says, do you see Spider-Man and The Rock in the new season of Fortnite? Yeah, I saw The Rock had kind of tweeted something, and he got unmasked or something. So he's in the game, and I also saw some clips of Spidey in the game. I'm a bit. I've keep doing it with the Fortnite, where I'll go in and I'll buy these skins, and then I'll never go back and play them. And then there's just so many different skins on there, and I kind of get a little bit bored with Fortnite, and I play it for like a night, and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. It's just the same game over and over again. So I don't play a lot of them. Luke, thank you very much for your super chat. I really appreciate that. That is fantastic. Thank you very much. So is there any truth to Eternals coming to Disney Plus on the 12th of January? Right, okay. So this one came from, originally the source of this was a Belgium streaming site. They did actually email me as well saying that they had this date and they've been told by Disney that's what it was. I've also had a second website from either Netherlands or Belgium. Sorry, I can't remember exactly which one. Saying that they've had the same date and they've been told by their sources at Disney that that's that date. So I do, and then one of those ones I've been in communication with for one of the sites I've been in communication with for years. So they're pretty good. The other ones were pretty new and I've not really been too familiar with them. So I think the problem is with this one is Disney has not officially announced a date. And that's the key thing. There isn't, so they won't do it, and they probably won't do it yet anyway because of they just want more money at the box office. Technically, the movie can come to Disney Plus the week of Christmas. What's more interesting is on the Disney Plus Latin American press website, they've actually got listed an assembled episode about Eternals. So we know we knew they were going to make one. So there's a kind of a conflicting thing with Latin America is kind of, it could theoretically drop around Christmas because that would be in line with it. And if they're putting up the assembled episode, that would be similar to what they've done with Shang-Chi. So at this moment, I've seen a Disney official kind of thing. They didn't say Eternals the movie. They just said the assembled episode. I think January the 12th, it could very easily be correct. It could very easily one. I think with Christmas, they're definitely filling up on the Christmas. I mean, December's been pretty good for movies. They might want to hold it back. I don't think that's a bad idea. But as far as the truth, at the minute, again, they've not officially said. But also as well, there can be regional differences. If there's problems like with dubbing, that can be an issue as well. My guess is we will probably find out. I don't know if we'll find out this week because we tend to get the US lists coming in around we're about 10 days. So it's probably about another week or so till we find out the January one. But if you look at them, they put out that list last week for December on the official website on the new video. Never mentioned Encanto because they're still trying to keep the cinemas going and they don't want to publicize. But Eternals could be on the 12th. I could definitely see that. But then, yeah, it's very, very tricklers. So again, thank you very much for your super chat, Luke. That really is fantastic. Stephen said Antlers next month. So actually, Antlers is coming this month to Disney Plus in Australia and New Zealand. It has already been confirmed. It's coming on the 15th, so next week. Don't know yet about the UK list of when that's dropping for Antlers. It's not on, but it wasn't on the Australian one either. So I'll expect that one to drop in soon. We've actually got a pretty good run of movies coming up internationally. So we're going to be getting like Ron's Gone Wrong. We've got Antlers, French Dispatch, and Eternals because we had like a rush of 4 movies, and then we're going to be getting like West Side Story, and then we're going to be getting The Kingsman. We've also got a few other ones. So there's a lot of stuff coming in. Ricardo said, I saw a rumor saying that Disney Plus could potentially bring back cancelled Netflix shows like Annie with A. They could do what they would have to do. You see, is individual companies are making those shows and they have the rights and all the rest of it. So Disney can go off and deal with them, and Netflix as well. The problem is with pickups of old shows is A, do they get access to the original show? That's a key issue. They might not automatically get it, but also, do they want to invest money in somebody else's IP and something else that they've cancelled? I know there's a lot of Annie with an E. A lot of people requesting it online as like a campaign. I watched the first few episodes. I kind of didn't get, but I think a lot of people get a little bit carried away with when something gets cancelled that they hope somebody else is going to pick it up. But generally, they're going to want to invest in something new that's already proven that it didn't really work very well. Okay, so Stuart says, do you think that Disney could have a deal with the Beatles movie archive on Disney Plus after the success of Get Back? I don't. It could be complicated because not all the films are owned by Apple Corp. So there again, that's going to come down to if Disney and Apple Corp can come with a deal. If the numbers are good on them, that could be good. I mean, they did that McCartney one, so they've done 2 specials with them this year. So that I would say there's an opportunity there for that. Definitely, there's an opportunity there for them to do something with the Beatles without a shadow of doubt on that one. Here we go. So Kelly said, I know Funimation has a licensing deal with Hulu since 2018, and I can see them renewing since Sony and Disney got a good thing going. Could also see select Funimation titles shared between Hulu and Disney Plus. I think that would be a good way of boosting up what's available. Sony seem to be in the mind right now of just trying to make as much money as their content, so I could see things being shared because they brought Crunchyroll, so they've got some stuff like that. So I definitely feel like we could definitely see that, and I think some animation stuff like that and some anime on Disney Plus could be a lot of fun. You also put on here, yeah, we did that one. Let's see if we got any more up the top here. Steven said Pluto TV should put Star Trek Discovery on catch-up part. Still nightmares. Yeah, I know Star Trek Discovery that's not the new one, isn't it? That they've just been putting out. Yeah, they've been making like lots of individual deals for that one. Okay, so we've got a question here. Actually, we got Babble Trolling says, what will happen to Hulu? Susan Arnold is taking over. Right, Susan Arnold is actually is going to become the chairman of the Walt Disney Company when Bob Iger steps down at the end of the month. So she's actually going to be, I was saying, she's going to be at the very top end of Disney. Not necessarily it's kind of on equal pairing with Bob Chapek. Technically, she's above him at like in terms of the when they have the meetings and stuff, but she's going to be very high. So she's going to have a lot of influence. If the two of them get together and agree on something, there's just going to be a lot of confidence in that. Going to be interesting, with like Bob Iger's kind of losing his control. So it doesn't necessarily mean she's happening to Hulu, but if she agrees with Bob Chapek, then that could help speed things up. Because I think at the minute there's been a bit of a conflict between the two, but I think we're definitely going to see something going on there. Ricardo said, do you think Bob Chapek will still be the CEO after many years? I don't know. It's hard with him because there's a lot of people really like sort of jumping in on him at the minute, and he definitely doesn't have as much experience. He's not as like in Hollywood, and he maybe doesn't get out there with people the same way, and he's not at the premieres the same way, and he's just got a very different ego and a different way of presenting himself than Bob Iger. Iger was definitely much more of a people's person. I still think that Bob Chapek probably was the right guy for the right time with the pandemic in terms of being quite brutal with the money. I think as far as a business person goes, he probably was the right, with everything shutting down and all the rest of it. I think he might have been the right guy to do all that. But long term, I don't think he's going to be good enough with the creative side. He's going to have to he's even going to have to get some more, maybe Susan can kind of help him with that, where he needs someone with the creative side and to be able to step in and help him, or go with it and help, and sort of, because we had this with Michael Eisner, he needed somebody to go alongside him. And, I think we're going to need to see that with Bob and Susan. We're going to have to see how it works. I mean, it could be there for years. I don't know. I think he's definitely got a bit of an issue. Kayla said Dragon Ball Super does have a Disney feel to it, despite it not being Disney, since it's originally aired on Sunday mornings on Fiji TV. I think generally a lot of these stuff, I think it would help. I mean, Disney's been very much into anime with like Pokemon and Beyblade, so definitely could see them, and I think it'd be a good thing, especially if they get international rights. Steven said Comcast sought Pluto TV only to tell what 1 hour worst streaming service. Yeah, I've not really used Pluto TV, but I know it's a free service. So if you got any more questions, feel free to pop them in. We got a little bit more time left, so feel free to pop them in. I'm just having a look here, seeing if we've got anything more. Okay, that's pretty good. So yeah, I think we've got all the ones that are on the chat at the minute. So feel free to keep popping them in. So definitely feel like with just in general, there's a lot of stuff moving on right now as we're going into a new year. Some contracts coming up. We are going to see a little bit of a change, and I think pressure just with the Disney stock price is going to really have an impact on what we see future-wise with Disney. But there's been a lot of pressure, I think, with Disney with the Hulu situation and what's going on there, and they're going to have to buy themselves out of it at some point. Right. Okay. So we got any more questions? So Stephen said, the Orville, any news? We did have a update. It's been probably a while. We had a little teaser trailer saying that it was coming. I think it's I'm just going to have a look here. In March 2022, we're going to be getting the third season. The Orville New Horizons. So that one will be coming to Hulu, and also I suspect then Disney Plus, because it is it'll be a Star original for this one, because it's going to be a Hulu original. I have watched the first 2 seasons. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to. I thought, it's a Star Trek, clone parody. It's probably not going to be very good. But no. So no, I think that's definitely a good one. Khaled said, I remember Chapek said he's going to invest in more sports. It wouldn't be too far-fetched to see him make a big acquisition regarding sports. They're definitely spending a lot of money. I think it's about 10 billion they're spending on sports. And that brings in a lot of views. My only thing with sports is, they can get a lot more money with like ESPN and stuff, and that's been like their bread and butter for a long time. I think for me, spending money on a football game that then you don't actually own the rights to, and you can't do anything with it afterwards, to me, making a TV series or a movie or a theme park contract, you're actually investing in something that you own and you can keep. Whereas if you're just paying for rights to play a football match, I don't know. But I'm not a sports person. But they are definitely spending big on sports. Right. So Stuart said, has Disney announced any price rises for next year? No, they've not done anything on that one. My personal bet is, I think with the pandemic, it's a little bit tricky for them to kind of come out and do it. They're still kind of dealing with the price rise for a lot of people. Most people feel like they've only just paid the price rise now, even though it did come in February. My gut would be, if they're going to do something, it's much more likely to be, if they need to put the price up and be like, look, we're investing a lot more in it. But January could be a good time to do that one. Lady Jennifer Snow, thank you very much for your super chat. That is really appreciative. That would be fantastic. Thank you for your support. And thank you very much for just being a Patreon and YouTube channel member anyway. Do you have any idea when the other Sony movies will start showing up on Hulu and Disney? I feel like they made a deal. Yeah, they did make this deal a long time ago. They really, we've not really heard anything. So obviously what's going to start happening is from next month. So Morbius will be the first movie. And like today, when they announced that new Spider-Man movie, they're all going to go to cinemas first, and they're going to do home video and digital. Then they're going to go to Netflix for their Pay 1, and then they're going to go to Pay 2 window in the United States for Disney. They've not announced an international deal or anything yet for that. So, but I'm really surprised they've not done it. I was expecting the Spider-Man movies. I thought that's what they were going to do. I thought they were going to kind of fire up this month with Spider-Man movies to try and get some hype for the new movies. I mean, they might turn around, but they're all on so many different streaming services already. So yeah, no, they it was announced this summer, but they've really not made a lot of noise about that one at all, which is a shame because I think that would have been great had they done that. Maybe they're just holding on to stuff and sorting things out a bit later on. But yeah, it is strange that they've not done that one yet. Again, thank you very much for your super chat and your support. Really helps. Ken said Hulu is going to have a price hike this month due to having Hotstar content and spending more on originals at the end. The cast and crew got to make the donuts. Yeah, they do. I don't know necessarily if there was the Hotstar content that's pushed up. I think it was just they just seem to be putting. I mean, most businesses put the prices up constantly anyway, and you kind of have to because of inflation and all the rest of it. I know people like bargains and want prices to drop, but in reality, wages are going up, rent goes up, very little actually goes down. So they're all going to have to do stuff at some time. Baba Trolling said, if Disney renamed the Disney channels to Disney Plus channels, probably not. So yeah, probably not going to see them rename them because there will be a bad branding issue calling it Disney Plus channels. I mean, I personally would be like, use your Disney, like I think me and James said it recently, is like, could you imagine if they put Star Wars The Mandalorian on ABC over Christmas, just one run, over 8 weeks, but doing it 2-3 years later? I think that would be a really great way of doing it. I think that would be, and why not? I mean, I know the Disney Plus originals only get people signed up, but use that content. Matt, thank you very much for your super chat. When do you see Eternals coming to Disney Plus? As I did mention earlier in the stream, there's a couple of rumors coming around. So we've got the 12th of January is the one that's been picked up by a lot of people. That came originally from a couple of sources within Europe, from Belgium, one of which I do trust. So I definitely, January the 12th could be it. I've also seen the one with the Latin American website on the official press list has put the assembled episode coming on the 22nd. So I think I wouldn't be at all surprised if they did the 22nd for Eternals of December as a Christmas bonus, but I also could see the benefits of maybe doing it after Encanto's drop, because if they're giving us Encanto, but they could have a really strong, but then it depends on what they've got coming in January. If they've not got much coming in January, they might want to just hold that one. So I really could easily see that the January the 12th number being correct, but it wouldn't at all surprise me if they just turned around and goes, oh yeah, it's coming, 22nd. But the fact that it's going to be very late when they announce this stuff, because it's going to be lots, because they've not announced, Blu-ray sales or anything like that yet. So I personally think the 12th could be very right, but anytime between there and Christmas is probably going to be when we're going to get it. Okay. So again, thank you very much for your super chat. Thank you very much for your support, Matt. It really does mean a lot. And again, for your earlier super chat as well, thank you so much, and your continued support. Baba Trolling, yeah. So Baba said about renaming it. Kelly said there's no way they're going to rename it. It's been established since 1983. Funny because I think the Disney Channel over here opened a lot earlier. Steven said, what's your Christmas plan this year? To be honest, not a lot. Obviously, spend some time with the family on Christmas Day. I'm being honest, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any work that day. I might check in online, but generally, yeah, I'm having the day off. I'm going to try and have a bit of a light couple of days. I'm hoping there won't be a lot of news. I have got some Lego sets that I have got to build that I want to spend time over the holidays, but I'll be working most of the holidays, because if I'm at home and if there's any news, I'll be doing stuff. But I'm trying to plan on just having a bit of a break. And my dogs are fine; they are loving it. They had a lovely walk on the beach today. Stuart said, with the Netflix deal expiring, can we see American Horror Story season 1 to 8 coming to Disney Plus in the UK? Right, I think American Horror Story seems to be a really weird one. The problem is, I think, with this one as well, is the fact we've already got 9. We've got 9 and 10 means that something's coming on. So there's going to be there's definitely something going on there with that series of why it's not come over. It is some of the early seasons are available in like Canada and stuff, so definitely interesting to see how that's working. So Martin says, do you know why Disney Plus in Norway does not have Norwegian subtitles on Star Wars: The Clone Wars? The old seasons only dubbed. No, I don't. I don't obviously know exactly the details. They either haven't got them or they've not put them in there. All I would say, make as much noise as you can on social media. Definitely, just keep blasting that at them to get it. Because it depends whether or not they've got them. Or I know they're having to do a little bit of a push on adding more subtitles and more dubbing and stuff to a lot of their content. But yeah, it is strange that it's not on there. Did they have it on the new one? By the way, that's that one. Stuart says, can we ever see Disney Plus originals being released on home media such as Blu-ray? I could see Get Back coming out as it could be a good gift similar to Mandalorian. I think Get Back's probably got a lot more chances of doing it because it might be because originally obviously it was going to be a theatrical release, and they might want it, but it depends on how long the contract's for. I think the trouble is with like home media formats is how much time are they going to have left to do that? I don't think the Mandalorian will do. I think they're going to keep that as it is for what it is in terms of it. The question is, when did any of you guys buy any physical media? I know I haven't, and I don't think I've bought any since Disney Plus launched. Speaking of Christmas, will that weekend be a pre-recorded Q&A? So here, actually, the Sunday is actually Boxing Day, so it's actually a bank holiday here. My plan is I'm planning on not doing a live one. I'm probably not going to do a pre-recorded one because my plan is I might do a Christmas Q&A live thing at some point around Christmas. It might, I don't know exactly what day it's going to be on, but there won't be a live Q&A on the Boxing Day, and I don't think it'll be a pre-recorded one. I'll probably just leave it for that day. Me and James have just sorted out yesterday. We're going to record the podcast a couple of days early because we normally would record on a Saturday. So we're going to do that one a little bit earlier. But yeah, I don't know, but there'll be something that week. But I might just take a week off of the Q&A because I'm not expecting a lot of news that week. But I am planning over Christmas, as I said, to do a general open to everybody live stream like we did for Disney Plus Day. Stuart says, could you ever see Disney Plus originals being released on home media? We've done that one, haven't we? So Martin said, yes, the new season, they have subtitles. I have the DVD. So the new season, they do have them. So that's interesting. And the fact that you've got them on the DVD, so they obviously haven't got them inputted onto the system for some reason. That's strange. So the fact that they've got them on the DVDs is good because that means they definitely made them. But yeah, I would say just get on the social media and also, make a lot of noise because I know that happened a lot with Iceland where there wasn't a lot of content and they got a lot of media about it. And I mean, even if there's not a lot of content with Norwegian, make sure people know about it. Stephen said Amazon Prime the worst now. Apple TV Plus, more good shows. Don't have Big Show, Wait, Lord of the Rings on Amazon. I'll be honest, I don't use Amazon Prime for a lot of videos. I don't watch a lot of it. I'm looking forward to I'm just trying to think the new clocks and the Grand Tour Christmas special. And yeah, so that but I don't really watch a lot. It's mainly the shipping. The shipping's great. I haven't used Apple Plus for a while. I was thinking of at some point maybe trying with like Apple Music and Apple TV Plus and doing like the whole bundle to get everything. But yeah, I haven't really. The only thing I enjoyed on Apple TV Plus was the Long Way Up. Was it the Long Way Up? Yeah, the Long Way Up. So it was the electric one. With that, I thought that was a good one. But I haven't watched anything on Apple TV Plus for a while. Okay. Steve Stuart said, have you fancied doing the podcast as a live stream? Me and James, we record using the same software that we do for the live stream. The reason we don't do it as a live stream is, and me and James have talked about this and the idea of doing them live. I mean, because we could just do them when we record them live and just do it live. We feel like the thing is if we're doing it live, then we're going to end up with like the live chat, and then I'm going to be like pulling stuff in. And as you probably already know, we can fill that because we try to do an hour. I mean, we did an hour and 20 yesterday. We know that if we had the live chat in, it probably would extend it, and we're already quite long, and we kind of quite like having just a conversation with the two of us, so to speak. We have honestly talked about it quite a few times. We used to do our this Kingdom podcast. We did that one a few times live. Same with our Disney Infinity podcast we used to do. We definitely could do it, but like I said, there's fors and against. I think with the podcast as well, with us just having a conversation with each other, it's a bit more focused. But yeah, so we have talked about doing them, but I think we've kind of decided, and also sometimes, like, you know, the internet drops out. I mean, we try to do it in one take anyway. You've probably noticed we try to do it as easy as possible, but there's definitely a thing for that one. So that's what. But we have discussed it, but we've decided at the minute it's best to keep it as it is. Barbara Trilling said, "I love Hotstar on Hulu. I will never buy Hotstar alone because it's too much money." I'm glad that you're enjoying it. This is the thing of what I'm waiting for is once like Disney start releasing more Hotstar content in Canada, Australia, and the UK, and New Zealand and Ireland, that's when I'm going to start pushing a little bit more onto that content. I'm keeping hold of it, but I'm trying to keep within the main countries, and trying to work out what's on Hulu and stuff is a little bit more tricky. But yeah, I'm really glad you're enjoying it. We're definitely going to be. I'm hoping to cover a lot more of it as they start integrating it more into Disney Plus in like the UK and stuff. Steven said Encanto is gone. Get IMAX on Disney Plus. I don't know if they do the animated ones are in IMAX. I don't think they are when they make them. I would love to see them do more IMAX stuff. I think that would definitely be a right way. All right, just a quick note. So we've got about 2-3 more minutes left. So get any more live questions in there. So Kaylee said, speaking of bundles, I hope that Disney Plus UK bundles with BT's Open Sport app when Hotstar UK shuts down. Maybe they can partner with the UK cellular service for it. Same goes for Canada. I don't know. I don't think they would go anywhere near that, because if BT Sports app, I think they're more likely just going to sell the rights to the company and then just let them get off of it. I can't see them doing a bundle or anything like that. They might. I mean, no, over here, Disney Plus has teamed up with O2 for the Virgin something, but I can't see them selling, because there's no essentially any reason for them to do that. I don't know if they necessarily would want to bundle up, and also there's no real. I can't see and also, I mean, I think Hotstar in the UK has got. It's not got a huge amount of subscribers. I was looking earlier today at their social media, and I think they've only got like 1,000 followers on like Twitter and stuff. So there's I don't know how many people are subscribing, but I can't imagine it's a huge amount enough to warrant having bundles and stuff. Right. Okay, so feel free to get any more questions in. So while we're just doing that before we wrap up in like 2 minutes time, if you haven't already done so, make sure you are subscribed you can find us on podcast platforms as well. You can also find us here on YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed. Go join us over at whatsondisneyplus.com. And as I said, while you're over there, if you go onto the website now, you can vote for the end of year awards. We've got quite a few of them going on quite now. So this is going to be running right through. If you go onto the website, you will find it in the banner on the side here. If you're on the phone, a little bit at the bottom. And in here, you're going to find lots of ones. So you can basically pop in the ones you like, and at the bottom, submit. It's as easy as that. So you can choose like what your best original series was. So this is going to be closing on Boxing Day. So on December the 26th. I'm trying to remember what day Boxing Day was then. Right. Okay. So Steven says Sky Cinema's big Christmas film is Peter Pan 2. No big film this year. Well, you got to think back. The problem is, especially for like Sky, is I think they're going to have. I think BBC is going to have Mary Poppins Returns on, but there wasn't really a lot of movies out like at the beginning of the year because Peter Rabbit 2 should have come out for Easter. So there was not a huge amount of releases, like really until the summer when things start picking up. That's probably why they've not got a huge amount of stuff on there. And also, Disney have taken all their stuff off. You know, they've got a lot less. Right, okay, that's pretty much going to wrap up today. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Thank you to everyone that's watched live. Thank you to everyone that's a member. And I shall see you guys next week for another live Q&A. And obviously during the week, we have new episodes of the Disney Plus News Go, where we go through all the news of the day. And then we have the podcast on Sunday. So there we go. Thank you very much. See you later. Oh, so Stephen said, is that Santa? So it's actually Deadpool Santa. So there we go. That's so there we go. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Later. I'd like to thank all of our Patreon and YouTube channel members for their support. You can become a member from as little as $2 a month and you get access to our weekly Q&A and much more.